In 2020, the elites have let us know that they're not going to stop. They're going from pandemic to racial to the second wave that is coming. And they're also messing with deliveries and food supplies. Be ready. Don't be one of those people that's going to be completely and utterly dependent on the government. Again, when COVID broke out, I did no advertising whatsoever at all. It appears that we have a small window, so get this while you can. If you order it, they will ship it. You won't be left out in the cold. Now, someone left a comment saying, can you make videos on how to bug out and how to prepare, and etc.? Well, here's my other YouTube channel, Jailbreak Overlander. And as you can see right here, there's a whole playlist on survival and how to bug out, gear reviews, etc., etc., etc. Hey, what's up, YouTube? It's Richie from Boston. It's June 23rd, I think. It's the year 2020. And the psychological operation moves forward without missing a beat. It is 90 degrees out. And pretty much every other person I see is wearing a mask. Perfect. Good for you. Good for you. The amount of reported deaths from the 2020 pandemic still haven't even come close to people dying from AIDS, people dying from the flu, people dying from cigarette smoking, people dying from alcoholism, people dying from opiates, not even close, and people dying from abortions. But those things are just business as usual. Let's stick with this pandemic. Now, the reason I bring up these numbers is because they're getting ready to get you into a second lockdown. And if Americans even consider for one moment locking themselves in and putting up with this bullshit all over again, you deserve to be the biometrically coerced slaves that you're going to be. You'll be robbed of your soul. You will discover that you indeed were created by a loving God who simply asked that you believe in him. But you didn't. You believed in science. You believed in the mainstream media. So you will get exactly what you deserve. Am I a little agitated? Do I sound a little pissed off? Yeah. You know why? Because of all these arrogant, ignorant assholes that sit there and stare at television, who don't leave their houses, who watch television shows of other people doing work. Let's watch guys build houses. Let's watch guys build cars. Let's sit here and watch other people do things. That's America. Let me talk to my little remote control listening apparatus that's sitting in my house. Alexa, turn on the blender. Alexa, let the cat out. America is going to get exactly what she deserves, and it's very, 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 very soon. If you recall, back in 2014, 2015, tons of us put up Christine Lagarde from the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, talking about lucky number 7. Lucky number 7. She was talking about it. She was rambling about it. She brought up the phase of the moon, etc.
Well, thank you so much. Merci beaucoup. As you can tell, I do as I'm told. And I thought I had to stand up at the time when my immediate predecessor would sit down, and clearly I failed. Good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me with you. I would like to thank the National Press Club, and especially President Angela Grilling-Keane, for not only inviting me to this prestigious venue, but essentially presenting the outline of what I want to talk to you about now. So it's as if we had prepared that together, which we have not. Now, let me first of all, of course, begin by wishing you all a Happy New Year. I guess it's still time to do that, given that we are just exactly halfway through between our Western New Year and the Lunar New Year, which will loom in a few weeks' time. I think it's also appropriate to wish ourselves a Happy New Year, given what I would like to talk to you about, which has to do with the global economy and what we should expect for 2014. Now, I'm going to test you numerology skills by asking you to think about the magic 7. Okay? Most of you will know that 7 is quite a number in all sorts of themes, religions, and I'm sure that you can compress numbers as well. If we think about 2014, all right, I'm just giving you 2014, you drop the 0, 14, 2 times 7. Okay, that's just by way of example, and we're going to carry on. So, if we think about 2014, all right, I'm just giving you 2014, you drop the 0, 14, 2 times 7. Okay, that's just by way of example, and we're going to carry on. So 2014 will be a milestone and hopefully a magic year in many respects. It will mark the 100th anniversary of the First World War back in 1914. It will mark the 70th anniversary, drop the 0, 7, of the Bretton Woods Conference that actually gave birth to the IMF. And it will be the 25th anniversary of the fall of the Berlin Wall. 25th. Okay. It will also mark the 7th anniversary of the financial market jitters that quickly turned into the greatest global economic calamity since the Great Depression. The crisis still lingers. Yet, optimism is in the air. We've left the deep freeze behind us, and the horizon looks just a bit brighter. So my hope and my wish for 2014 is that after those 7 miserable years, weak and fragile, we have 7 strong years.
The reason we all ran videos about that is because this was the first time, for the most part, that a mainstream Illuminati member or witch publicly used numerology and astrology in a financial setting or speech. 2014, that was 6 years ago. She was talking about lucky number 7. 2014 plus 7 equals 2021. They are going to absolutely do a global reset. Like I've already shown you. I showed you Klaus Schwab explaining that this is a perfect time to do a global reset right now. These people have even put up videos showing assholes walking around wearing masks, assholes locking themselves in their houses, assholes protesting staged events, and assholes being coerced by agent provocateurs during these protests, therefore turning them into riots. they've shown us how all these things are you playing your part in their global reset, which will put every one of your 401ks, all of your retirements, all of your bank accounts, all of your mortgages, banknotes, car notes, etc., 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 turn them into confetti. And you will be at the absolute whims of these very, very wealthy people. The fact that America still sits and stares at the stock market, still sits and stares at the orange-haired human cookie jar Donald J. Trump and thinks that America's in good shape, they're going to put everyone on a social credit system. If you don't do exactly as you're told, you will not be buying or selling. If you don't line up and get tested for a disease that is completely contrived, you don't get to buy or sell. If you don't get the biometric vaccination for a contrived disease, contrived means totally and utterly made up, you cannot buy or sell. You will be shunned by the public. Now, for those people that actually find out things for themselves by going to MIT.com, WhiteHouse.gov, patents.org, people that actually do research for themselves and then leave links for other people, in this day and age, we're pariahs, we're idiots, we're imbeciles. Oh, where'd you get that information off the internet? What a jerk you are. Well, the funny thing about that is people that say those things are simply parroting what the television has told them to say in response to anybody that offers them any alternative with actual proof to the mainstream media story. They are destroying the country right now, and in the meantime, they're making you do a little step and fetch while they're doing it. You see what I'm saying? They're amusing themselves while they're doing it. They're getting you to pay $1,500 to $1,200 for a cell phone for your 10-year-old who has no business in the world needing a cell phone, but you do it. They're selling you computers and technology and every other thing that is, as soon as you own it, their system makes it obsolete or devalues it exponentially, but you're doing it. It is time to understand that to stand on your feet, to go against what is corrupt and knowingly wrong is heroic. It is godlike. That is what God wants to see. He does not want to see people. He does not want to see people doing things because everyone else does it. People that are afraid to be called a name. It is absolutely staggering to me that these folks are getting ready to pull this again, and they will pull it again. The problem is, just like we warned you about 2 months ago, myself and many others, all the videos basically got pulled down, is there will indeed be a second wave. But preceding this second wave of a contrived disease, contrived means being made up, the second wave will actually have some results. Second wave of a contrived disease, contrived means being made up, the second wave will actually have some results. Because the first wave of the completely contrived disease, contrived means made up, not real, fake, fraudulent, the second round, the second wave, has been bolstered by genetically modified mosquitoes released in a place that they're already, released in an area they're already purporting to be a hotspot. And the entire time people have been walking around and wearing their mask and hiding and sheltering and standing in line and walking one way on the sidewalk and up and down the aisles at the supermarket, they've been assembling their monstrosity of 5G, SpaceX in the sky, and 1 million radio towers all over the United States. So, when 5G is up and running in specific areas and people start feeling the effects of this utterly unnatural, dangerous millimeter wave that's been used by the military for over a decade to stop aggressive armies in their tracks, people will think there's an outbreak, but it'll be nothing more than what it's always been. It'll be technology, again, masquerading as something else. Do not be fooled. Do not be afraid. Do not stand for this. Do not put a mask on, and do not consent. Richie from Boston. I'm out.